Hey, Pat here. I wanted to do a quick video today based on an ongoing conversation I've had with a few people. Actually, I've had this conversation many times, so I thought I'd make some of the points in video. A topic that keeps coming up time and time again is the issue of where did God come from, and I've already done a video on it before, but I'm just going to address it in a little bit differently. The argument that Dawkins puts forward is that anything that is irreducible complexity, for instance, can be explained back to a certain point, and then if you say that the system is irreducibly complex, therefore it must have a designer, or that designer must be far more complex than the systems that he creates, therefore begs the question, where did the designer come from? Now there are a few analogies that I've used, and I'm going to mention them. First of all, the discovery of design, or the question of is there design apparent in the universe and in living systems, that question does not need to explain, or those that put forward that question do not need to explain the identity or the origin of the intelligent designer. Intelligent design can be evidence for it can be gathered in the study of living systems and study of the universe, etc. An example would be a few years ago they found what they thought was a face on Mars. Now, the first photos, it looked pretty convincing that the geometry of the structure did look like a human face, perhaps with an Egyptian-looking head on it or something, a hat on it. But later on they found out that when they took more photos from different angles, they could see that it was a little optical illusion, and in fact the geometry didn't add up to the correct spacing, shape, etc. to portray a human face. So that was discarded. Now, the faces on Mount Rushmore, let's just say all life on Earth is wiped out, and 10,000 years from now some alien civilization flies past and lands on Earth and sees the faces on Mount Rushmore. Now, without knowing anything about the human race, anything about our civilization, our culture, our technology, etc., etc., if the only thing they saw was the faces on Mount Rushmore, would they conclude that that structure was the result of intelligence? Well, they would, wouldn't they? Because there are just so many factors, not only the fact that there are several faces, but the faces are all different, but they're all the same in geometry. In other words, the eye spacing, where the nose is, where the mouth is, where the ears are, yet they're all different features. Different distinct faces. So so many factors there that would lead them to conclude that there was an intelligent designer of some sort behind that structure, and they can work that out without any more information on who that designer is, how long ago that designer lived, or where that designer came from, etc., etc. So those are just a couple of examples. Another one is, imagine an alien spaceship, an alien spaceship was found crashed in the desert, and the scientists collected it, and they found that the spaceship was actually appeared to be a mixture between a biological system and a mechanical system. But it wasn't biological in the sense that we know it, and it wasn't mechanical in the sense that we know it. It was something else, something that we hadn't come across before. And they can see from the structure of the craft that it is a flying craft. They can see that it has a propulsion system, although they have no idea what the propulsion system uses for fuel, what it is, how it propels itself, how it functions. There are no aliens on board, so there's no way of knowing who created this machine. No knowledge whatsoever of the designer of the craft, and without any knowledge of that designer, they can still infer, or they can still conclude from the evidence that they gathered, that a designer is apparent. And that's the point that I am frustrated in trying to make again and again to people who just don't seem to want to grasp that point. So anyway, I hope I've explained that clearly. I welcome your comments on both sides, and maybe we can clear that up, and boy, I'd be happy if I can just get one atheist to concede that point. And thanks for listening.